Hi everyone, my name is Dana Wambui Njeri. I'm a UIUX designer, currently freelancing. I started design, I think last year. So I've not yet gotten a job to use my skills. So if what Michael was saying, if anyone here has any job opportunities, you can share them on the chat. So today I will be presenting a case study, an e-learning system case study inspired by my previous university, where we had an e-learning system that was not working or is not working for many students. And if you hear my voice break, pardon me, I'm nervous. So I think I will start. So on this case study, on this project, I used Figma as the main tool to design the project, and also Google Sheets to create survey questions for the user research. So as I've said, this project was inspired by my university, which the current portal in the school is very hard to navigate, to use, and also to access the courses, which is the most important thing for the students in the school. So we start with the problems. The first problem that I as the student, we had encountered, and also after the research that I did, it is very difficult to navigate and use the portal, as it causes the students confusion to find their courses and to attend online classes. The portal also has an unappealing design, which confuses the students also. Most of them don't use it, as Gen Zs, they want popping colors. And also the portal lacks information for the lecturers, which is important for students to talk to their lecturers. If, example, you have a card that is missing, mostly you have to go through a whole process to find the contacts of the lecturer. Whereas if the portal has that information, you just log in and you can access the lecturer's information. On the solutions, the problem solution, the first step is to improve the visual appeal, to invite more students to use the app, and also improve the navigation and the organization of the portal to help the students access the courses more easily and to attend their classes. Also, the process in the current portal, the process to enroll for courses, it's a very long process. You have to go through many steps to access the courses. In this project, I wanted to reduce the steps in which a student can enroll and access a specific course, and also add a lecturer's page, which has the lecturer's information to help the students connect with their lecturers. On the design process, these are my design steps, which I used. There's empathize, which is doing the research, the user interviews and survey. Defining to understand the problem, which is where I created the user personas empathy map, To ideate, I created the user flow, and on the design, there's the lo-fi wireframes, which were sketches done on paper, and also did the high fidelity wireframes. And after the whole design process, I did testing, which had a usability testing, going back to the students to see how they interact with the final design. So first, I did a user research. So I created a survey on Google Form to ask students some questions to understand my design, and also to get to know, not only to design through my assumptions, but to get to know the current students in the school. Are they facing the same problems, and what they would love to see improve on the portal? So I asked here are some of the questions. Do you use the e-learning portal? Where 75% of the students said yes, and 25 don't. Then we have how often do you use the portal? And the main was twice, and when the lecturer requests, most of the students say they don't use the portal because of the problems named above. Some only use it when required, if there is an assignment posted there, or the lecturer needs you to attend an online class through the portal. Asked what was their experience while using the portal, and it ranged between 3, which is good, not very good, of an experience. How difficult or easy is it to access the courses in the portal? Majority of the students said it's very hard to access the courses because in the current system, if you log in, let's say you're doing computer science, you have to log into your school, the whole school, which is the School of Applied Sciences, and then you have to narrow down to computer science, then you have to narrow down to your class to find your courses, which is a very long process. So I created a solution where if you log into the system by entering your email, your school email, the system will automatically know you're in the School of Applied Sciences, and which class, by the registration number, the system will know which class specifically you are in. So it will only bring out the courses which you're supposed to do for that specific semester. So after the research, created a user flow, which the system is very simple. It does not have a very big user flow. There are only 4 screens, which is the home, where the dashboard, that's the main overview. And then you have the courses, the exam, and the lecturer page. On the courses, if there are some courses which you can directly access, and in some courses you have to use an enrollment key to access the classes. The exam page, only the exam shows the exam details of the 2 weeks which you will be having the exams, and the lecturers contains the phone number, the email, which we'll see on the high fidelity wireframes. After the user flow, I created some personas based on the interview I had conducted with the students. So these are real students. One was Phyllis Otieno, who is 20. She was in 3rd year doing computer networks. Her goal on the system, the school e-learning portal, it's to see a user-friendly e-learning portal for students, to view a captivating portal. She also wants to be a first-class graduate. Most of her frustrations are all similar to the other students. The portal is very confusing to navigate, and she only uses the portal when the lecturer insists. Also, Samuel Mumbi, who is a fourth-year student. His goals on the portal is to have an easier to use and enroll portal. Only the idea of only your school should be in the portal, so that the process of accessing the courses is much easier. His frustrations with the portal is that the portal is difficult to enroll, to find courses, and most of the time the site is not working for the students. After the personas, I created an empathy map to understand the thoughts, the feelings, and the needs of the students whom I interviewed. Here is for Phyllis. So Phyllis, on what says, she said that she loves open source and cloud computing. She also says that she sees less students, or she says that, less students use the portal, especially in their class, because mostly considering the effort, the frustrations and the work they have to do, they prefer not to use it. Then she said like she'd love to see a section with the lecturer's information for that semester. She sees that most students struggle to enroll in their courses, and the site denies access to some students. She thinks the portal should be more captivating, and the portal should have all the semester courses for their school. She hears some students suggest on the portal to be improved, and also stories of most students being annoyed to find the courses. After the empathy map, having done all that research, I knew what I needed to do with talking to the students to make the portal much better. So I created some low fidelity wireframes. I sketched the wireframes. Also went back to the school to talk with the students to hear on ideas they would love added on the portal and what they would love to see on the dashboard, the courses, to make it easier for them to see. So it's on the low fidelity done on Figma. So now this is the design, the high fidelity design. On the homepage, we showcase the courses a student have for that day. The 3 courses, let's say the morning from 8 to 10, from 10 to 12. You'll see those courses and they will change as the day goes on. Also, we have a timeline for the classes the student has for that whole week. And on your left side, you'll have a calendar where the student can click on any date to see the class schedule they have. And also you'll have events. If on a certain class, on a certain day, you have an assignment, mostly the assignments are the events. So if you have an assignment due on this day, you will be notified on the specific class card that you have an assignment due for this class. And on the courses main page, you have courses which you'll have as a first time user, you'll see all your courses that you're doing. and you have to click on access to access all your courses. And after you have accessed your courses, you can come back to the enrolled page where you can view your progress and the books you need to download and what classes or assignments you need to do if they are on the portal. The next main page, we have the exam page, which the students views the exam schedule for the specific semester. You have a timeline for the whole week, the exams that you have. And also on the left side, you can see the classes that you have. Sorry, the exam that you have for, you can click to see each specific day. And the cards on the exam page are clickable, like the Google, on Google, where you can click a card and it will have the, you need, as a student, you need to see the lecturer who will be invigilating you. Also, you can, if you click on the card, there's a link to take you to the specific class that you have, the specific exam course class that you have for that day, so that you can view the notes and read inside the portal. The next page, we have the lecturer's page, which has the picture of a lecturer, their email, their phone number. And if you click on the card on the left side, the lecturer's details will appear. So after designing this page, I will show the full prototype. So after doing this design, I went back to the school again for the testing, for the usability testing, for the students to interact with the prototype and here on their reviews. So I tested this design on 5 students who I had prepared a set of questions to ask them. How easy to navigate? Is it to navigate the system? How easy is it to find the courses to enroll? How is it taking too much, the process? Is it taking too long for them to find the courses or to find their classes? And by doing this test, the students were very impressed with the design and how streamlined it was. It was very easy for them to access the courses, and all the students said they would use this system more if it was implemented in the school than the current system. And also there were some changes that were suggested, like the event card, where the first time the card only was not clickable. So the students suggested that the card should be clickable to take you to the courses. And also it should show an assignment, like an alert. If you have an assignment due today, there should be an alert on the system. And these are evidence of me doing the test with a group of students. Now I will share with you the prototype. So here on the home page, as I say, you can see the timeline and you can scroll through it. On the timeline, you can click on a specific class. Let's say on Wednesday, you have database admin and you want to see the class, when the class is, the time, the location. If the class is not online, there's the blending system where you can have the class either online or physical. You can see where the class will be, the lecturer, and you can click on the lecturer to view the lecturer's details, and also you can view the class. So you can click on the lecturer to view the who the lecturer is, his name, the unit is the class he will be teaching, his phone number, the email, and his favorite quotes. So, and then if these cards, all the cards on the courses, they're also clickable to take you to the specific course. If you take, let's say, the legal and professional issues class, here you will see the topics for the full semester. So if the class has not yet happened, there will be a link to that specific class. And when the class has happened, the lecturer will upload a recording of that specific class where the student can click on the class, the virtual, let's say the virtual class, and you will see the recording for your class. And if the lecturer has left notes, you can view the notes. And on the side, you can view the progress of the semester and the class. You can also see your topics for that, the whole unit. And so you can access the lecturer's information. You can view what let's say the events you have, assignments due on September 10th. If you have a card on October 6th, the other, you can view those details. Also, if the lecturer decides to give you an online assignment, the lecturer can upload the assignment on the portal where the students can do it. So you can have like assignment 1, where students can do the assignment and submit it. And also the students can download, mostly if when the class is beginning, the lecturer will issue books for the students to read. So the students can download the online copies through the portal to read on their own time. So, okay, sorry. So I think we can begin on the courses now on how the student can enroll if they are first-time users. I'm sorry about that confusion. So let's say you're a student and you're starting the semester, can come, have a legal and professional issues class. You can click on access, and to reduce the steps of you having to go through many pages to access your class, I decided to have the card pop up on the left side, which the students loved as they can view everything in one page, which was much easier for them to use the portal. If I click on enroll, it will take me to the course direct. I don't need to go through many steps to access the courses or to view my class. And as I said before, in some classes, if you have a class, there's some class that the whole school, you can have different classes can have a similar unit. So to reduce the students, or to make sure that there's no confusion with students going to the wrong class, to access a class, the lecturer issues an enrollment key for that specific class. So let's example on this database admin. If I click on access and to enroll, I'm asked to input an enrollment key, which happens on the same page. If I enter it, I verify, and it takes me to that class which I need to be in. Also, now on this side, you can see a simplified version of the classes that you will be having every day for the semester. On the exam page, you have a timeline for the exams, which you can navigate to see. So exams happen for 2 weeks. So you will see each day the exams that you have. And similar to the courses timeline, if I click on an exam, I can see when the exam is happening, the time, the location, the lecturer who will be invigilating the class, and also I can view the class to see the notes or to read through in the portal also. On the last page, we have the lecturers, where a student can view all the lecturers for that semester with their unit that they're teaching, their details. And if you want to see a specific lecturer, you can just see on the left side where you have like Mr. Alan, the picture of the lecturer to help you to easily identify the lecturer, the unit they're teaching for number, and the email. So there's also students requested that if a class is cancelled, that there should be notifications on the class. When the class is cancelled, there should be notifications on the portal that the lecturer has cancelled the class. And also you can see some notifications on if you have a class, an exam coming, or also the events on the assignments due can also appear on the notification bar. So on this theme, I created a light theme and a dark theme. So this is how the dark theme looks like. I think, yeah, that is my case study presentation on an e-learning system. Thank you. If you have any questions.
Awesome. Thanks. Thank you, Diana. Sorry guys for the background noise. That was amazing. Very detailed case study, very detailed. You went all in. I don't know. I had a question. Have you pitched it to any of the e-learning platforms in Kenya, universities? If yes, what is the outcome? What have you?
No, I haven't yet pitched to any e-learning platforms or schools.
Okay, cool. I was just inquiring. Now we have 10 minutes for questions. I had one pointer though for you. I noticed on the pop-ups, like it's a notification pop-up or anything, you can add a dark overlay on the background so that the pop-up, there's a contrast between the pop-up and the background. So that now it shows the difference, the contrast. Anyway, I'll start with the questions. So Maxwell Otieno is asking, how do you check for accessibility while designing for dark mode? Did you consider accessibility? If so, how did you check?
Okay. Thank you for the question, Maxwell. So that was one of the challenges that I faced. I thought while designing, first I designed the whole system, and I thought just using the color palettes, it will be, when changing to dark mode, that the colors will just magically be accessible to all users, which was not the case. So I had to go back to checking with the WCAG accessibility guidelines on every color that I had used, from now even on the white mode, to change them all, and yeah, to change the codes, the color codes, to make sure that they met the accessibility ratio for all users.
Right.
Does that
Thanks.
answer the question?
I hope it did. Maxwell, if it didn't, you can inquire. I'm also, another tip I can give, you can check out material design. There's a link, I'm dropping it on the chat now. It has the best practice for designing dark mode. So if you're doing dark mode, you can check out for accessibility features and all that. Right. I don't think there's any other question. Is there any other question? If you have, so someone is asking, how long did the entire design take from start to finish?
So technically, the design has, as only being a designer for 6 months straight consistently, I had the idea after finishing school to do, but imposter syndrome and all. So I just playing with the idea. But after now getting into design seriously, it took me 2 months of doing it, focusing on it and doing it all, finishing it all.
Right. Okay.
2 months.
That is 2 months. 2 months. Okay. All right. Nice. I don't think there are any other questions. If there is, someone can raise the question. I just wanted to remind guys if, oh yeah, before I even mention that, Diana is also free for any role. She's open for roles. So if you have any open job, I'm guessing it's junior, right?
Yes.
Junior
Yes,
role,
yes.
yeah. So if you have any junior role at your company, or you've had any, just share it on the chat, or you can link up with her on her social media and all that. Just another one is if you have any, if you'd like to volunteer to do a case study, we're always looking for case study presenters. I think we're even looking for another presenter another speaker who can critique from a recruiter's perspective. I think that would be dope. But I don't know, what do you guys think? We can do that. Now, that said, thank you, Diana, for the presentation. We'll now jump straight to the second one. I'm going to introduce my second guest. My second guest goes by the name of Dickson. If you're on Twitter, especially on Twitter, I saw him critiquing the new, was it Loop app, the bank app, and he did a very dope, detailed review. The review had showed some of the flaws and some of the ways they could have improved on the app. And so I reached out to him and I wanted to talk more about the Kenyan mobile app industry and ways in which we can improve. So without further ado, is Dickson on the call? Are you ready to join us? I know he's on the call. I saw him. Are you ready? You can unmute yourself, or should I unmute you?
Yes, I'm ready.
Awesome. So you can share your screen and we can start.
Okay, hi guys. My name is Dickson. I was reached out to by Michael, I believe, by email. Then the email went to spam, so I saw it a few weeks later. But yeah, my background is I did informatics. I hope everyone can hear me. I'm not sure. I can't get any feedback because everyone's mic is muted.
On my end, I can hear you loud and clear. The rest you can just type on the chat. So as we proceed.
So yeah, in uni I studied informatics. I'm seeing people I know as participants. Nice to Koples moja. Anyway, I did informatics in uni. I ran Techish Kenya. If you've read Techish Kenya, you find different opinions on different things, mostly around tech, mobile apps, phones, business ideas, and all that. Yeah. So I am here because I was, as I said, invited by Michael for this. And from this presentation, I won't take much of your time, but I'll just try and run the discussion around what I was told to talk about, nothing more. I'm not a designer per se. So I won't be critiquing or saying anything about design because what I learned in uni under informatics was just human-computer interaction and how you can make the human being interact with a mobile or a computer in a better way. Yeah. So like I said, like Michael said, I was invited here because of an article I did about NCBS shift to a new app and a new design and a sort of different approach. I wrote an article which you guys can go check out. It's titled NCBL Loop Update, a masterclass on how to know your customers. It got way more interaction than I expected, so 60,000 reads. In it, I highlighted all the issues I had with the platform, and I think I've received positive feedback from Loop. They promised to work on some of the things that were highlighted. Yeah. From the feedback, mine and both from other customers, you will see that there was a problem with the platform and how it was designed. The featured image here tries to break down why it's so cluttered and weird to use. So yeah, that's the reason why I was invited to talk about this, but I won't talk about Loop per se because I already wrote something about it, so you can read that there. I've been asked to present about this, and I quote from the email. In your presentation, you can highlight some of the great apps based on user experience you've come across and why, what's missing on our local apps and things to improve on. You can add more content if you like. So let me start with what makes an app great. I remember my lecture in unis never talked about apps. It was just what makes your interaction with the computer better. And some of the key points that I can remember from that were ease of use and a well thought out user journey, which is fast so that a user doesn't feel like they're suffering, they're taking more of their time to do a simple task, and consistency. So each screen or each sort of step on the app should be consistent with the branding of the company or of the app or of the visual design. So yeah, it's now over 2 years ago, I think, Instagram had a major update, and I wrote something about it called Instagram has completely lost it. Because after the major update, the app felt very cluttered. Everything was everywhere. If you use Instagram, you can bear witness that that was the case. So, for example, the notifications tab had moved. It's now at the top. The create button was also at the top. Then they introduced something called the shop tab. I don't know how many of you used the shop tab, but everything felt very different and very weird. And even celebrities, big celebrities were talking about it. So Instagram decided to fix things. part of the issue they had when they did this big update is that they offered 3 forms of videos. So there was the normal videos in feed, then there were reels, those like TikTok, and then there were IGTV. You remember a few years before, I think in 2018 or 2019, they launched something called IGTV. So now one app was offering 3 types of videos that you could create in 3 different ways and interact with in 3 different ways. And there was no consistency in how the app looked like, and it wasn't a well thought out user journey. So finding your way around things was very hard. The complaints I remember were major. Very big creators were complaining. You had different people writing articles about how the pivot to video was hurting the platform. So Instagram has over time fixed most of these complaints. For example, the create button is now moved back to the bottom as it at the center. I've seen very many new apps coming up nowadays, and they have this sort of center design. Even the new Loop app has this sort of center L. So Instagram decided to bring the create button at the center, as it should have always been. Then they decided to make every video become a reel, doing away with the confusion. So anytime a user will make a video, it will become a reel automatically. You didn't have to choose or figure out how to post your video on a platform that was also quite cluttered, to say the least. Then they've removed the shop tab completely, so you'll only interact with shopping items under the explore page or when you interact with a profile that's a shop. They also went with a more unique approach of finding and doing things. So everything became consistent, and you could go around the app and do all your things in a consistent and easy to use manner. So they've checked all these boxes. It's now easy to use. The user journey is well thought out. The app remains quite fast and consistent. So I think these are the main things that make an app great. And I hope that answers the question of some of the, you can highlight some of the great apps on user experience, but I can't name any local apps per se. I can just say what makes most of the apps that are great, these 4 things. So the second part of my requirement was to highlight what's missing on our local apps. I can't say particularly which app is missing what in detail, but I can say that if you're building an app, and I'm not here to teach or say this is what to do because I am not in that space per se. Yes, I built Techish based on WordPress. The design is mine, the logo is mine. It could be bad to you, it could be good to someone else, but I'm not here to tell what design should be. What I believe in design, it's that it should be minimalistic, that micro interactions and feedback should be present so that a user knows what they're doing, and then the experience should be personalized. So minimalism. A good app, I believe, should make navigation easy. I should know where to go, where I am on the platform while I'm using it, how to go back, how to go forward, how to do something. I think minimalism makes the app faster, so it improves on speed. I also think minimalism works for different types of users, even those with different sort of impairments, because not everyone can read certain fonts, not everyone can see certain icons, not everyone can interact with a platform the same way the other person interacts with. But if you if you use minimalism, a minimalist sort of design, you make it easier for everyone to have a sort of uniform and a uniform manner of working on the platform. So, for example, a good example is there's an upcoming rise of super apps where a platform wants to do everything. It wants to be your shop. It wants to be the place where you post your content. It wants to be the place where you make payments and all that. And this rise of sort of super apps is bringing a sort of cluttered feel into very many apps. And if you look at numbers, you'll see that many super apps aren't taking off quite well. And those that are well designed are the ones that are receiving quite good feedback. A good question that I like to ask, even when we're discussing design and stuff on apps, is how many people use the new M-Pesa app? And you'll find that very many people will praise it and say they love the design, love how it works and all that. But then you ask how many use the mini apps that are found within the platform, and you'll find the numbers always go down, because all these other features are secondary. The main features of M-Pesa is what we've grown used to, is you're there to send money, to leap up, and to do what pertains to payment. So you find that I rarely use the mini app. Yes, I've never used many of the mini apps. I use M-Shwari and KCB M-Pesa, which were there on the SDK kit. So you find that with all this upcoming of super apps, when you clutter your platform, it looks very weird, and it can lose you a good audience or a good number of engagement. So, for example, with the M-Pesa app, you find that they decided to put the main features that everyone is used to at the top. So once you open your app, the main features, you're there to pay, you're there to send money, you're there to buy airtime. They're always at the top. Everything else becomes secondary. That's sort of a minimalistic approach, I could say, though I think the app is still cluttered. Also, minimalism or with app better showcases the branding of the company. So while you're using the app, it feels like you're using a company's app, the platform that you came there to use, even if you include all this mini or this extra features on the app. The second thing that I think makes an app really good is micro interactions and feedback. When you're pressing a button, you need to know that you're pressing a button, that there is feedback if something that doesn't go right, if something goes right, if something goes wrong, if you're supposed to wait, if there's something happening in the background and all that. So confirmations and pop-ups and status messages are very important to making the sort of experience very good. There should also be these little color changes that denote actions. For example, if I am sending money and I've already entered the figure, the button can change from this color to that color to show me that you can proceed. It can also show me that I can't proceed. It's these tiny micro interactions and feedback that make the user journey quite nice for the users, so that they know they're doing something on the platform. And the final thing is personalization. I think this is very important to even, you find it even with social media apps. There's a way that apps are personalized to each user. So if it's social media, they'll use an algorithm to show you content they believe is good for you. TikTok has really done that quite well. If it's, say, a bank, you'll find that you can put your stuff that you actually use from the banking platform front and center, and the stuff that you don't use stays hidden until you need to use it, and all that. So making each user's experience unique will increase engagement, so that each user knows how to find whatever they're there for, so they will be engaging with the app. It will also enhance retention, because as you're staying engaged with the app, you're retained on the platform. Then it also encourages adoption, because if a user is happy with your platform, he or she will talk about it to other people, and they will talk about it to other people, and that will encourage adoption. So yeah, that's my presentation. I'm happy to be here and to see people I know and to talk. Asante.
Right. Thanks a lot for your presentation. Thanks for being short and precise and to the point. For you guys who don't know, what's his name, Dickson, I can share. I want to share my screen. If you can see my screen, just tell me. This is his website. He does tech reviews, gadget reviews. And this is the particular page that that really drew me to this whole conversation. And I won't read everything, but like, I just liked how he broke down everything that the new app could have done better, and the loopholes, as the name is called, the app called Loop. So you can go by and read his tech blog. I guess it's a tech blog, and he also has a video, YouTube video, where he does reviews and all that. So today's session was just that brief. Unless there's anyone else with a question, if you have a question for Dickson or any of us, you can ask. Otherwise, thank you, Dickson, for your session. Really appreciate it. Yeah, so moving on now. We're on the last minutes of this meetup. If anyone has a job posting, if anyone has, like you've had at your job, there's an opening, UX opening or anything, just leave it on the chat or send it to us via email. But you can just write it here, or you can raise your hand and say it so that we can obviously post it and encourage other guys to apply. If there isn't any, then this is the conclusion of our meetup. Our next meetup will be next month. If you didn't know, it's every month on the fourth Tuesday. So in March, we'll have it on 21st of March. 1, 2, 3 is no 28th of March. Sorry, 28th of March. That's when we'll have the next session. Again, if you have a case study and you'd like to volunteer and to present it and get feedback, you're welcome to do that. Just send us an email. I've linked everything on the chat. If you just scroll up, Kabisa, there's a chat there. And if you'd like to be a volunteer and help us organize this event, design poster, host, and all that, you're also welcome on the chat. That said, I have nothing else to say. Thank you guys for showing up and for being on time. The attendance was nice. See you all on March. Bye-bye.